Fresno Unified is taking a closer look at how students are performing this school year. The district just released preliminary Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium, or SBAC, test scores. These show overall improvement compared to last year and even some progress toward pre-pandemic levels. On this Wired Wednesday, reporter Anya Ellis joins us from the GV Wire studios in Fresno with a breakdown of what these new test scores mean for Fresno Unified students and families. Good morning. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, Liz. Thanks for having me.
So how much did Fresno Unified test scores actually increase?
They increased by about 2%, which is the highest increase that they've had since the pandemic has happened. They usually increase about 1 to 1.5%, so they're really happy about that big jump that they had.
Is there any idea on which student groups actually saw the biggest gains?
Yes, so Pacific Islanders saw huge gains in their test scores, and also reclassified students, which are students who have been moved from English learners to English proficient, also saw some pretty great gains.
Now, while some did see gains, are there any student groups whose scores actually decreased?
Yeah, unfortunately, there were some student groups that decreased. English learners did not do the best, as well as foster youth, which can be expected, I guess. What's really concerning, I guess, for the district, I would assume, is Filipino students actually dropped about 6% in both ELA and math. Now, that's not to say that they're not doing good. They're still outperforming every other ethnic group, but that drop is probably a point of concern for the district.
Oh, I know you mentioned it, and if we could just expand on it a little bit, how do these scores compare to pre-pandemic levels?
So, pre-pandemic levels, ELA is about 1% off, so they're really close to bridging that gap in reading, but the math is still about 3% behind. If they go at this rate, they should be back to those math levels in about 1 to 2 school years.
So they're certainly keeping an eye on this. Now the question is, how does the district plan to use this data?
Yeah, so the district has really categorized this data, and especially looking at schools specifically, so they can go in and identify points of strengths and also weaknesses, so that they can, kind of do more of a pinpoint of student support. And they've already started to do this a bit, where they've gone into schools, collected data, and told the best performing schools, hey, can you go and share these techniques with lower performing schools in the district, especially in reading. So they are kind of following that model that they've started this year.
I was about to ask you certainly took a deep dive into the numbers, into specifics in this case, but have we figured out what is it exactly that the district is doing differently that seems to be working?
That's hard to pinpoint. I think, first of all, they've kind of got a clear direction finally. They have their goals and guardrails that they passed just this last spring. And so now that they've had direction, I feel like they're diving into numbers more. They're seeing what works, what doesn't work. Historically, Fresno Unified hasn't been the best at tracking these numbers and what is actually working in their classroom. So now that they're finally doing that, I think that they can expect to see some gains.
Anya Ellis with GV Wire, we thank you so much for joining us on this Wired Wednesday for that deep dive into Fresno Unified and test scores to see how students are performing. Thanks again so much. Great day. We'll be right back.